Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Imagine a world where for 2000 years men have ceased to exist. A world rebuilt from the ashes after deadly virus changed everything. In this universe lives Antonia, but Antonia is outcast. She doesn't fit in. She is misfit in a world designed for conformity. Right now, her relationship is clear at the same because of radical choice she has enlisted in the Queen's army. But what Antonia doesn't know yet is that an unexpected visit is about to change everything if she accepted. I am Stepan Varesheva-Skobet, the author of this book, and today I'm going to read you very beginning of Antonia's journey. Welcome to chapter 1. Where will this unexpected visit take Antonia's life? That is for you to discover. My book Helada Dreams is officially available for pre-order right now. Be among the very first to step into this new world. Click the link below to video secure your copy today. Now I want to read first chapter of my book. First chapter is named Decision. Antonia's sky blue eyes were fixed on the wall, locked on the crimson pulse of the digital timer. 3 o'clock at midnight. Sleep was a ghost she had been chasing for hours. Her thoughts spinning like a fried film rail. She let out jugged breath and rubbed the bridge of her nose. Beside her, Ezerien stirred. Antonia carefully dislodged her lover's hand from her shoulder, the touch lingering like a fading spark. She threw back the thermal blanket and sat on the edge of the mattress, her spine stiff. The conditioned air beat at her bare skin, rising a forest of goosebumps. The chill felt like glass needles, sharp and grounding. She scratched her neck until it popped, then stood, plucking a silk robe from the shaggy carpet. The fabric was cool, smooth, caress against her skin as she cinched the belt tight. She tossed a lock of blonde hair over her shoulder and looked back at the bed. Her face hardened. The carpet swallowed the sound of her footsteps as she approached the far wall. At her touch, the white surface melted away like morning mist, revealing a seamless expanse of glass. Instantly, the neon chaos of Metroll City flooded the room, painting Antonia's pensive face in flickering shades of violet and chrome. High above the street, she watched the capital bread, anti-gravity streaked through the canoes of illuminated skyscrapers that cloud at the horizon. Floating through the billboards flashed promise of life anyone could afford, if they had the credits. The cities never sleep, Ezerien had once whispered. Antonia's lips carved into ghosts of a smile that didn't reach her eyes. She leaned her forehead against the cold pen, her breath fogging the glass. How could she tell Ezerien? The decision was already a stone in her gut, a weight that promised to shatter both their hearts. Breaking things off was a routine she loathed, yet it was the only rhythm she knew. There was a hollow space inside her, a vast, silent crater that amount of passion could fill. She had never known that desperate, breathless love the poet sang about. Something crucial was always missing, leaving her heart desolate as a salt plain. She hated herself for it. A 24-hour her past was a graveyard of violent connection. Every new face was a hope that this time the spark wouldn't die. With Ezerien she had truly believed the ice was melting. Ezerien had been a beacon on that stage, turquoise eyes, raven hair and voice that felt like physical touch. Their first kiss had been hurricane, electric spark racing through their veins like wildfire. For months they had devoured each other, drinking in lust like wanderers who had finally stumbled upon an oasis, but even oases ran dry. The shift had begun after the last red lily strike. The world was fracturing, and so were they. Antonia had signed her military papers in secret, and when the truth came out, Ezerien spiraled. The argument became a restless static, punctured by Ezerien trees to end it all if Antonia left. But the more Ezerien clawed to keep her further, Antonia drifted into the dark. Her loyalty to the Queen was an ironclad, a fundamental part of her architecture. Years of red lily terror had only accelerated the inevitable, her enlistment in the Space Marine Corps. Antonia could feel the teeth frying. The relationship was a beautiful song reaching its final discordant bar. The rust of silk broke her focus. Ezerien's voice, teach with sleep and rasping, drifted from the bed. My love, why are you awake? Thinking. Antonia kept her gaze focused on the city light. She didn't turn, her thumbs repetitiously brushing away the damp trails on her cheeks. Ezerien yawned, propping herself up on her elbow. The silk sheet cascaded down, pulling around her waist. What is hunting you, my butterfly? Antonia looked over her shoulder, her eyes momentarily catching on the soft curve of Ezerien's breaths. God, she is breathing when she wakes. Antonia tugged the realization, stinging like a fresh breath. How do I tell her the truth of what I feel? She forced a heavy sigh. I'm wondering if the military was a mistake. A smile flickered across Ezerien's full lips, a warm glow softening her feathers. She patted the mattress, her voice turning velvet and hungry. Don't let it weight you down. We will fix this together. Antonia crossed the room with a cat-like step, her fingers threading through her hair. It is your heart I am worried about, Ezerien. My absence, it will change things. Ezerien's expression shifted, her turquoise eyes searching Antonia's blue ones. I have been poisoned by jealousy since you signed those papers, but I see it now how much this means to you. I won't be the one to chain you. Antonia lifted her chin, her hands coming to rest on her hips. Why the sudden change of heart? Ezerien sank back into the pillow, starting at the velvet ceiling. A long silence stretched between them. I feel I will lose you anyway if I don't let you breathe. No matter how much I want to keep you, I have to let go. My world will be a void without you, but I saw you watching the stars again tonight. I knew then that I couldn't hold the sky. She looked at Antonia, her eyes shimmering. Just promise me you will come back. Antonia rubbed her forehead, the pressure there building. Military service in the fringe system wasn't a parade. It was a meat grinder. The Empire of Peace was thin crust over a boiling sea of insurgent. You know, I can't promise that. The mission. There is a possibility I want. Ezerien bolted upright, her hands slashing through the air. Don't you dare, she whispered, her voice trembling. Don't you dare say it. Antonia looked at her, at the fringed ashen face and the wide star-bright eyes. She forced a smile, a mask she had worn 1,000 times, and climbed onto the bed. She kissed her with sudden desperate passion, temporary bridge over the widening gap. She wouldn't kill the relationship tomorrow, or perhaps the day after. She shivered, pulling her lips back just enough to frame Ezerian's face with her hands. You know you can count on me, Antonia said, her voice tasting like dust. With you, nothing makes sense. It was suitable, but lies on a glass. A spark of cold fear ignited in Antonia's chest, the chilling realization that her promise was a ghost, and she was already gone. This is the first chapter of my book, so if you like the story, you can pre-order my book and like this video and share this video to help me if somebody want to buy a book. So thank you everybody. If you listen to the end, give me one like, subscribe if you like the story, and bye. That's everything for today.